you finish Flavor of Love season 2, and then you get a phone call about Charm School. Tell us about how Charm School comes into your life.
So for Charm School, they actually told us about Charm School on the Flavor of Love 2 reunion. They were like, okay, like if you guys don't act up too much, like we have this other show we're thinking about making. They kind of explained a little bit to us, but they were like, basically, like, don't fucking kill New York, because if you do, we can't make this show. Like, you guys have to be able to participate in another show. So don't get too turned up on this show. Although we clearly did not listen very well. Um, that's when we first heard about it, and we didn't know like who was going to be cast on it, who was going to be in charge of it. But that was the first knowledge we got of it. And then I can't even remember the timeline. But I remember I think I still have like the thing they sent us, the breakdown of like what to bring, what's going to happen and stuff like that. It was super exciting, but we did think at the time it was going to be hosted by Kimora Lee Simmons and not Monique. I think we might have had an idea that it could have been Monique, because I remember reading her book before I went. I had rented her book, checked her book out at the library. Mm-hmm. So I was like up to date on that. But I think we were really leaning towards it was going to be Kimora Lee Simmons.
Wow.
Which is completely different. That would have been a whole different fucking show.
Like, that would have been a whole different show. And Kimora Lee Simmons was a shit on TV back then. Like she was one of the it girls.
Yeah, it would have been way different. Like I'm so glad it was Monique, because I fucking love Monique. Like I was doing stand-up comedy at the time. So to be able to even get to meet fucking Monique, I was like jaw on the floor, stunned, fucking obsessed. Mind you, Monique probably had the best makeup artist in the whole fucking industry, because her face was beat the fuck down. Like, and Dee Kelly was her makeup artist at the time. And I remember just like being in awe of Monique's makeup. Like she had her fucking perfect hair, perfect fucking makeup. I was just like, wow, like this is a fucking goddess. Like I was obsessed with Monique, because like she's a legend. She's a fucking legend. And she only went on to become even more of a legend after that.
Yeah, I love Monique. Monique is one of my favorite people in the whole entire world. I actually worked with her on a show that I was executive producing on Fox Soul called Turned Out with T.S. Madison. And I had the pleasure of like producing the segment and meeting her and talking to her husband. I was just like, I just want to let you know, I fucking love you. Like I've been loving you since I could love you. You're so fucking amazing.
Monique gets a lot of hate. She gets so much hate. And it's just like, Monique is a real bitch. Monique is a real person, and she stands up for herself, and not everybody likes that. Like, but you have to stand up for yourself. And if that makes you a bitch to other people, that's unfortunate, because you got to stand up for yourself. Nobody else is going to do it.
I know that's right. Shout out to Monique. Shout out to Monique, who's winning right now. She's in a winning season right now, and I absolutely love to see it on her.
Right, the ultimate comeback.
Right, like, yeah.
So good. Everybody dogged you out, and you stayed true to what you fucking said, and they had to come around and fucking admit that they were wrong, because you stayed solid to your word. They fucking had to come and tell the truth.
Ain't that something?
God will do it.
That's so powerful. Monique don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure she knows, but that probably inspired so many people to like remain true and not bend and not give in. Like stay true to yourself, because it'll work out in the end.
Inspirational, yes. What she did took some big fucking balls, and she fucking did it like a champ.
What's your reaction to the criticism that people like Bootz give her as it relates to her role on Charm School and how she treated you guys?
I mean, everybody has a different experience with her. It's very obvious that her and Monique did not get along. Like they didn't like each other. So I don't expect Bootz to say anything nice about Monique, or vice versa. Like not everybody is going to get along. Their personalities very much clash. So of course Larissa don't like her. Like Monique didn't like Larissa. So I mean, and Goldie had a different experience with her as well. Like, but my experience with Monique was always positive. Monique was always so sweet to me. Came up even outside of the show, encouraged me, was like, hey, I think what you're doing is really good. Continue with the stand-up comedy. Like she was always very straightforward, very encouraging to me. I never got any negativity from Monique, even when she was trying to correct me or trying to make me understand things. There's an episode of Charm School where Like, I freak out and I'm crying. It was Monique's fucking birthday. Like, it was her real fucking birthday that day. And she came in and, like, I was not in the scene because I was up in my room crying. And, like, she, on her own, came up to my room and found me crying and had this whole discussion with me. Like, and she did that as a person. Like, the producers didn't say, oh, go have this fucking conversation with her. Like, she came and really talked to me and talked to my heart and was like, looking me in my eyes and was like a real human that cared about another human at that point. So I have only good things to say about Monique. I think she's amazing.
Shout out to Monique, honey. I want to do another mini roll call with you within the context of Charm School. So let's talk about Thaila. She was on season 1 of Flavor of Love. And this was your first time working with her. Her first episode was a lot. It was a lot of emotions and energy. And she subsequently went home. Monique sent her home. But what was your experience like working with her on that show?
She just was. We had to go camp outside on that episode. Like, I don't think I really spoke to her until we got on that bus and we were going up the hill, and then we had to carry all them fucking camping supplies up this fucking hill. Like, I was not in any kind of mood to deal with whatever the fuck she was talking about, having a whole dramatic fit before we even climbed up the mountain. Like, whatever she said, I could have fucking cared less. Like, I'm sure I just grabbed, I'm an only child. Like, I don't have patience to deal with other people and their problems. Like, I'm gonna grab my little fucking sleeping bag in a pot and hike myself up the fucking hill and let you sit down here and have your fit, because I don't know you. I don't know why you're mad, but it wasn't for me. I didn't want to deal with it. She was just loud and annoying to me.
I think she may have gotten sent home because maybe the producers thought she wasn't fit for the show. Like, if you already going crazy like this on day 1 and 2, girl, what day 7 gonna look like?
Yeah, I think she might. And didn't she cry in like a, I think she cried in like a confessional with Monique, and she was like, I just don't have no weed. I'm going crazy because I don't have my weed.
It was something like that.
Bitch, you should have brought some. I have weed. Like, what the fuck? If you know you need weed, bring your fucking weed.
I know that's right. Was it legal back then in California?
That's a good question. I don't really know. Probably not. No, definitely I don't think so.
Next on the list is Heather Crazy. Within the context of Charm School, she went home second.
Nevaeh, heaven backwards. Exactly. I saw the whole whites of your eyes when I said that. And that's exactly how I think we all felt, because she kept going so hard on Charm School to be called Nevaeh. Like, she was fighting for it so hard. And I think it's because she wanted that to be like her singer name. But the whole point was like, you supposed to be yourself. Like, shit, if I gotta be Becky, you gotta be fucking Heather, bitch. Okay? Like, you are not Nevaeh. If I'm not Buckwild, you are not fucking Nevaeh. All right? And she was just, she really, like, she's a pretty girl and that's great. But it's like, she had no skills to be friends with other women. Like, she just, nobody was really her friend because I don't think she gets along with women. She was in the room with me and Safari and she got kicked out right away, which was good. It was like, we got the room to ourselves.
Jesus. Toasty, she went home third. How was she in Charm School?
Toasty was hella wasted in Charm School. She was just drunk a lot. I don't think she was even there for that long, but she was drunk. She was fun. Like, she was a good time girl.
Next on the list is Crystal, also known as Sirius.
I don't like her.
For real. I was not expecting that.
I don't like her. Like, I feel like on the show, me and her didn't get along. She was just very selfish to me. I can get why people think she's funny. I think when I watched her on Flavor of Love 1, I actually did like her. I thought she was pretty. I thought she was funny. But when she was on Charm School, I did not like her personality. Like, she was very, it's me, I'm a model. Like, the way she was portrayed on that show was how she was. It was like, girl, we don't want to hear you talk about yourself all fucking day. Like, she was fun when she wasn't talking about herself, but that was rare.
Next on the list is Courtney. Goldie!
I love Goldie. I was a fan of Goldie from season 1. I don't know who's not a fan of Goldie, because Goldie's probably the most likable person out of the whole of Love universe. Like I tell her all that time, I'm like, girl, you don't have any fucking controversy. Like everybody just likes your ass. Like you're everybody's fucking favorite. Like the worst
Mm-hmm.
thing you did was throw up a little bit. Like, come on, girl. Like you got the best edit out of everyone. And it's like she's just so fun. Such, a southern sweet person. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
really genuinely who she is on TV. She's like that all the time. And she's very funny. She's fun as fuck to hang out with. She almost drowned me in the middle of the ocean though, because she told me she could swim and she really couldn't swim. And we went in the middle of the fucking ocean on a boat to go snorkeling, and she literally almost drowned me by hanging on to me like for her fucking dear life. I don't even know why she got at the boat when she couldn't swim,
Oh my
but
God.
she tried. She definitely gave it her best effort, and she actually ended up really being good at snorkeling. So shout out to her for trusting me to take her into the wide open fucking ocean, but she did almost kill me there.
Oh my God. Next on the list is Hottie Shatar Taylor.
Hadi Shatar. I think I had met her a couple times before we filmed Charm School, like maybe at a reality show or something. So I didn't really know her personality. When we went on Charm School, she was very much in character 100% of the time. Like, never broke character for a second. And I've talked to her outside of filming, and the percentage of what her character is, and it's really, the line is really hard to figure out there, because like she's not stupid, she's really smart, but she plays dumb, but also I feel like she partly is that dumb person too. So it's a very confusing mix to figure out where the real Shatar is there.
You are funny.
I mean, she has a
Oh,
production company and like makes movies and stuff with her husband. So I feel like she's really smart and knows how to do things, but also she's like hella dumb and weird. Like she really wears that fucking hair. Like she really wears that like to events where she's not playing hottie.
my favorite Hottie moment from Charm School is when she goes on that date with Mr. Firestone, and it's just like horrible. It's like horrible. And then she gets up to the thing, her hair is all over the fucking place. She got all this dress, her titties, her ass, and she goes to unveil the thing, and it falls on the ground. And she says, voila.
That's why I say like she's so dumb. It's actually smart sometimes. It's like she was the perfect person to go on that date, by the way, because the juxtaposition of her fucking self with that fucking group of people was hilarious. Nobody else should have been on that date.
She gets out the car and falls. Right? She like falls.
That's why I'm like, is that a character or is that like you're a genius? Are you a genius?
Oh my God. Next on the list is Like That Dara.
Still same. Like she's still fake to me. She was fake on that show to me too, because like she picked a fight with Safari on that show. Like they should have took me and Safari on that shopping spree that they went on, and they didn't. And then she picked a fight with Safari. Like she does shit to get screen time that I feel like is because she just don't give enough other than that. She got to fight with somebody else to be entertaining.
Now, from what I can remember from the show, now you fill in the blanks for me. She offered some of her clothes to Safari once she got back, and then Safari went bananas. But you say she picked the fight with her. How do you? What makes you say she picked the fight with her?
I feel like why would you even offer her the fucking clothes? Like, why are you even speaking to her when you didn't invite us to the fuck? First of all, if she wanted to give her clothes, she should have invited us on the shopping spree, and the bitch could have got her own new clothes. Nobody wants your dusty ass fucking clothes, bitch. You fucking big as fuck. Like, Safari ain't the same size as you, bitch. Why you giving her your oversized fucking business suit, bitch? Don't nobody want to wear your fucking shit. Fuck you. I would have fought her too.
Oh, damn. Next on the list is, I'm gonna say her name now. I'm gonna be fair. You do whatever you want to do with it. Is Larissa Hodge Bootz?
Larissa was on that show. I think Larissa, like I said, I'm not gonna comment too much about Larissa because she don't like it. But I feel like Larissa has a different point of view about Charm School than anybody else. Larissa's point of view is Larissa's experience, and everybody had their own experience. So I feel like Larissa had a very different experience than a lot of us on that show. And what you see her talking about that is her experience from that show. I didn't have the same experience.
I know that's right. And no comment on Larissa.
No.
Next on the list is Brooke Thompson. Pumpkin. Pumpkin.
Pumpkin is like, she wasn't bad. She wasn't like, she's not somebody I would be friends with. Like, she's just, she doesn't think the same things are funny that I think are funny. Like, we don't hang around the same type of people. She was okay. I feel like she got a bad rap for being a whore, the whore of Charm School. Like, she wasn't really a whore. Like, she didn't even suck no dick or nothing. I think she like took a shot out of like a ice sculpture or something. Like, they acted like she was out there fucking performing a glory hole for all the men that came to the prom. Like, girl, you are not the whore of Charm School. She didn't even fuck no. She didn't even kiss nobody, and they made her the whore of Charm School. Like, I guess Charm School was really strict. It was less strict with the Rock of Love girls. I'll tell you that much.
Buckwild, what you know about a glory hole?
Listen, I have access to porn.
Next on the list in the context of Charm School is Shay Johnson, Buckeey. I'm just realizing how close in names you guys are. She's Shay Johnson,
Yes,
Buckeey. You're Becky Johnston, Buckwild. That is crazy.
It was crazy. And we even talked about that when we were on Flavor of Love. Like, it was crazy that our names were so similar. It was crazy that our nicknames ended up being so similar. We were in the same room. Flavor of Love, we were really good friends. I actually gave she stayed longer than me. So when I left Flavor of Love, I had extra dresses and I left them for her. So like, she wore some of my dresses at the end of Flavor of Love. Like, we were really cool. Spent some time together after Flavor of Love. On Charm School, like I said, she ended up becoming friends with Larissa because they were in the same room together. I ended up becoming friends with Safari. And then at the end, there was the elimination episode where it's like, I asked Safari, like, I figured out how the elimination was going to go. Because we had this challenge where we had to ask questions, and whoever got the most questions wrong had to go home. And instantly, the way my brain thinks is, okay, so if we ask all the questions to one person, they're going to go home because they're going to get, we got to pick who we ask the questions to. So if we ask only one person, she can only ask one of us a question. But if all three of us are asking that person a question, no matter how many they answer, they're going to fail first. And I asked Safari, I was like, who do you want to go home? Like, between Shay and Laylene, because me and her were really close. So obviously I wasn't going to send her home. So I'm like, who should we get rid of? And she was like, Shay. So I was like, okay, let's get Laylene. Let's make this deal. And Shay's going to go home. Because at that point, I had gotten in a fight with Shay because her and Larissa were doing that whole hidden picture thing and like lying to people about they didn't do it. And so I was just kind of like off put by that because it was like, girl, why are you lying to me about some weird shit anyway? So I didn't really feel some type of way about getting her eliminated at that point. And that definitely hurt our friendship because obviously she went home. She didn't win Charm School. Like, I would not like that either, especially when she found out that it was me who was the one who came up with the plot to ask the questions all to her, because I think she thought that Safari had come up with that idea. And she didn't realize that it was someone who was her friend who came up with the idea to get her eliminated. So I understood why we had that little tension between us at that point. But at the end of the day, we were friends before that. I had so much respect and love for her. Like, that's why later on I reached out to her and tried to, make sure we're cool, make sure everything's okay. Because I do respect her. I think she's beautiful, great, wonderful, fun girl. Like, go ahead and be on Love and Hip Hop forever, girl. Like, you the only one who's still on reality TV all the fucking time, bitch. So you really did the damn thing. Like, you wanted to be on reality TV and you fucking did it, and you're still on it. So nobody can say shit to you about it.
Boom. Drops mic.
Period.
Next on the list is Laylene Smiley.
Laylene. It's so funny because I watched Flavor Love season 1 and I was a Laylene fan. And I didn't meet Laylene until we went to Charm School. And I actually thought her name was Leilani because I had only read it on the internet. So I kept calling her the wrong name. I was like, Leilani. She's like, who? But Laylene is such a sweet, nice girl. Like, she's a little crazy when it comes to love. Like, she definitely has some issues with the men she chooses in her life. And I think that causes her a lot of emotional trauma. But at the end of the day, she's a really sweet girl. Love her. I talked to her a couple months ago because she likes to go missing every now and then. She's hard to get a hold of, but I like to check up on her every now and then just because, like, I care about Laylene. Layleen's a sweet girl. And we did go through charm school together. Like, we were the last three at the end. We had a crazy time. Me, her, and Safari had a crazy experience together in Vegas where we ended up like walking home on the street because she got in a fight with her boyfriend and he kicked us out the car. And we had to walk home at like 2 a.m. in the middle of fucking Las Vegas to her house. So it's like people don't see all the shit we really been through with Laylene. Like, it's been some shit. But Laylene's beautiful.
And how's she doing in 2024?
She's good. She's married now. She's settled down. So she's with her boo. I think her boo is like, she told me her boo is like a Dungeons and Dragons nerd. So I think she'd be going to like those type of conventions with him and stuff. I don't know. She's actually really like a super big nerd. So that's probably something that would surprise people.
I love that. I would love to see Laylene again.
She's fun. She's sweet.
And last but not least, from the cast, Safari, the winner.
Love Safari. On Charm School is actually where we became really, really fucking close. Because we had hung out a few times before Charm School. I think I had hung out with her and Larissa, maybe her and Goldie a few times. But just because like those people are local to LA, I live in California, so we all happen to be at the same things a few times. But me and her we became very, very close on that show because we just spent so much time together. We were alone in the room together. Crazy, like I said, she got kicked out like one of the first 2 episodes. So it was just me and her in the room there. And I mean, she's my best friend to this day. Like I was talking to her last night. Her daughter is like my goddaughter. Like she does so many good things. Like a lot of people don't know about her. She's got a nonprofit. She's starting to work in with like adults with disabilities because her daughter has a disability. So she has gotten into being able to have a nonprofit to help with other adult disability children. Like she is an entrepreneur. She's like my idol. Like I love her. I have so much respect for her. I can't say good enough things about Safari. Like one of the best people I've ever met in my life, will be my friend until the day I die because like that's my ride or die. Like thank you Flavor Flave for giving me a best friend.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that. Congratulations to you both for that.
No, it's really different when you've been through like all that stuff with each other, and then it's like you have something that other people don't have. Like we will always have that connection, even though we haven't known each other our whole life. At this point, we are sisters. We are family at this point. Like there's nothing you could do that's going to separate us. Like we may not get along every single day. We don't agree on every single thing, but that's my sister. Like I will kill you over her. That is my sister, and we're both Scorpios, so you know, like we loyal.
I think her winning Flavor of Love season, I think her winning Charm School season 1 was so fitting. Like I thought it was so fitting. It was such a beautiful story. She was the first out on Flavor of Love and she was the last one standing on Charm School. It was the perfect Cinderella story. It was just beautiful.
When she fell down to her knees and was crying, like, oh, everybody cried with her. And what's crazy is she did not tell me that she won Charm School. I did not know she won Charm School. I actually thought Laylene won Charm School. So, like, she was my best friend. That bitch did not even tell me she won, which probably she didn't tell me because she'll tell you that I can't hold water. I got a big old mouth. Like, that's probably why she didn't tell me. But I did not know she won Charm School until everybody else knew.
Shout out to Safari. I just want to say shout out to Safari. Shout out to Safari. Next on the list is Mickey Taylor. Remember her?
I still follow her on Instagram with her big old teeth. I love Mickey.
Oh my God. I thought Mickey was such a classy woman.
She is.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What you say?
I was like, she's a legend. Like she is huge in the industry. I believe she works for what, Essence magazine or something like that, right?
At one point she did, yeah.
Yes, she has a lot of accolades behind her, and I think like a lot of people didn't realize like how much of an icon she actually is. And she was super nice to me, but very poised and a very professional woman.
Next on the list is Keith Lewis.
Keith was like, I feel like Keith is not even a real person. Like, he was just, to me, he's such a character. Like obviously they cast him because he's such a character like that, but he really was somebody that was like, he came from the pageant world. So it's like, if
Mm-hmm.
you look up his like record or something, he was like a guy that like literally worked in the Miss America pageants and stuff like that. So it was like, they really, for our season, the judges were like really actually professionals in what they did. Like, I think season 2 and season 3, I don't know who the other judges were, but they weren't like people who should be judging a charm school. The judges on our show were people who should be judging a fucking charm school. Like, they are actually people who have high standards and like high
Mm-hmm.
expectations of people. So I think they were definitely a lot harder on us. Keith, at first, like, him and I didn't get along, but I think he finally, like, he got it. He got my personality after a while. It's like, I'm definitely an acquired taste, but he got my taste after a while.
Yes, yes. I wonder where Keith is now. I'm gonna look him up and see what the hell he got going on.
I don't know. It's a good question.
That's a good question, ain't it? We already talked about Monique. How was the behind the scenes of Charm School? Now, I've seen some clips on YouTube from VH1. And I remember back in the day, VH1 would put out these like behind the scenes excerpts like on Comcast or like on the internet where you could only go on Comcast and watch it, or you could only go on the internet and watch it. And I've seen clips like when Monique came up in the room and basically like cussed all y'all out. She basically cussed all y'all out. Oh my god! If you're watching this right now, please, I'm gonna drop the link down in the comments. There's a deleted scene from Charm School where Monique basically just went around the room and just told everybody off. And she got to Shatar, and she said, Shatar, if you don't cut that shit out, if you don't stop that shit, it was so funny.
Because that's what I told you. Like, you can't figure out shit, Tara. Like, it makes you mad. Like, are you really like this bitch? Like, I'm gonna choke you. Like, and I feel like Monique couldn't figure that shit out either. Like, bitch, you a grown ass woman. I can't tolerate you. You really got that fucking wig on right now, bitch. I'm gonna slap you.
What were the behind the scenes moments like for Charm School?
For Charm School, it was I think we drank a lot on Charm School because we had a lot of downtime on Charm School.
Mm-hmm.
We drank a lot. Me and Safari, we get drunk at night and just, have a good old time. It was like, that's how we became so close. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really drink that much at the time. I would just be smoking in the closet. She would be drinking her little wine out of a coffee cup so we don't look like drunks. But it was just, bonding. It was fun. Like, we weren't competing for a man at that point. We were like competing, but it wasn't over a man. So we had more chance to just like kiki and be fun and joke with each other. It was like a sleepover.
You guys had a lot of fun. I mean, the whole hiking ride, you guys chilled out with Mr. Firestone. He liked you. You guys had a fashion show. You guys had a debate. You guys had to be on the streets. You guys had to sell your clothes. You guys had to go on dates with guys. You guys had to debate. It was so much fun stuff going on. What is probably the number one most fun moment you had on that show? Something we seen or didn't see.
I think the debate episode was really fun. I think that episode was super fun because we got to go out that night to the bar and like hang out with people. But then like at the same time, we were filming a TV show at the bar too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like we were interacting with people. It was like the only time we got to be out of the house with other people. And it was like men's that like we weren't fighting over. So we could all just be like, this one's mine. This one's mine. Like just let loose and have a good time. And that was so fun. Like we all had such a good night that night. And I mean, I guess Larissa and Bootz got into a fight that night. So you could tell everybody was drinking because it was like they were definitely drunk when they had that fight. Like, but it was a good time. Like it was so fun. And it was just like something to do outside of the fucking structure of the show. Like we got let into the wild with the humans and we acted like animals.
I want to know what was your number one not so fun moment.
Number one not so fun moment on Charm School. I will tell you, I remember this very well. When New York came back, that was my number one worst day on fucking Charm School because like I had been having such a good time. I was cool, like, and at the time I still was very, very upset with New York. Like we had not met outside. I think maybe we had ran into each other at a party once and I threw champagne in her face and she didn't know I did it because she was so drunk that night. Like I literally saw her in the bathroom, chuck the champagne in her face, and walk the fuck out. And to this day, she probably still doesn't know I'm the one who did it. She was so fucked up that night. But I really wanted to fight her in real life. I don't know why I had such a chip on my shoulder and didn't understand how hilarious the whole thing was. But I still had all that animosity in me when I went to film Charm School, like because I left the show because she came there, because I fought with her. Like I did not like her. I hated her. And I didn't realize that that was like not really her. So when we were filming the episode, when she came on, everybody else went before me. And that is not normal for like challenges and stuff we do. Usually I go in like the first 4 or 5 people. Whatever we do, usually I'm not the very last person. So when they made me the very last person to do the interview, I started to get nervous. I was like, it's really weird that they're putting me last. Why would they put me last? And it was because the whole time I was like, oh, if I see New York, I'm gonna fucking punch her in her fucking face. So they were ready for me to go in there and basically punch her in her fucking face because I had said that like 800 times. But I was not thinking New York was going to be there. I thought it was going to be Perez Hilton, honestly, that was interviewing us. So I was ready to go in and deal with his little fucking whatever, how he was going to be. I know he has an attitude and he's weird and tries to get at people, but I was ready for him. I was not ready to walk in there and see New York, especially in the situation that we were in, because we were in a situation where we're supposed to not act up. We're supposed to be on our best behavior. And all of a sudden, like, you got this person I want to beat up right in front of me. And I got to fucking hold my tongue if I want to pass this challenge. And it was just like, I was so fucking frustrated at that point. Like, because I didn't know whether to be mean to her or be nice to her. Like, I couldn't figure out how to fucking act. And then after I left that interview, I was crying because I felt so horrible because I was like, oh, like she just fucking got to me so bad. Like I should have just got up and punched her in the fucking face. Like, why did I sit there and act like I was fucking like nervous to be interviewed by her when I had just been fucking saying all this shit? And it was because I was just such in a conflicted space. I was like trying to be Charm School, and then at the same time I really wanted to fight her. So it was like I was so frustrated and I had been crying. And because I did so bad in that challenge, like they were like, oh, you're going home, like you're getting eliminated. And so all of that was on top of me. Like I didn't even want to be there anymore. Like I was in the car crying that night. Like I want to go home, send me the fuck out of here. Like I can't take this. That was too much for me. And I was so upset. And on top of that, I thought that was the reason I was going to be going home. So I was double upset by that. And that's actually the episode where Larissa goes home, because I was supposed to go home that night. Like, and Larissa ends up going home that night because of whatever interaction happened with her and Monique. So it actually ended up not being bad at the end of the day. But for me, that was the hardest day I had there.
Wow. Yeah, New York came in with them big old titties about to fall out. And that hair, you know, I love New York. New York, I love you, girl, if you ever see this. But New York was looking crazy. She looks amazing now. Like, she looks amazing. But New York had got really the titties so big. And the hair, I think, you know, weave and wigs during that time, it was going through a little transition, you know. That's when we were first just hearing about lace fronts from Beyonce and Tyra and them. New York, we love her, but New York, her styling around that time was interesting.
Well, and she looks so different from Flavor of Love 1 to Flavor of Love 2 and Flavor of Love 2 to Charm School. She is 3 different people on all those different shows. Look-wise, attitude-wise, she's the same on all of them. But she looked like 3 different humans on all those shows.
You know what? I beg to differ. Her attitude, season 1 of Flavor of Love, was a whole lot more believable. I love New York down, but I feel like after season 1, she went home and saw herself back. I feel like ever since that, beginning season 2, that was the representative showing up. Even though it was a great representative, it was still great TV. But like, if you watch season 1 of Flavor of Love, there's a sophisticated, aristocratic, snobby Valley Girl energy to New York that you only really get season 1 of Flavor of Love. Season 2 of Flavor of Love and on is Nuck if you buck, bitch. You know, it's all that. I feel like season 1, she was a whole lot more pulled up, I would say, just a little bit.
Well, she's from Syracuse, I believe, which is like
Mm-hmm.
a nicer part in New York, from what I
It's
understand.
ritzy. It's ritzy.
Yeah. So I mean, that's definitely where she was and where she came from. I think it's almost impossible to watch yourself on TV and then
Mhm.
to do another show and not be more of that character. Like you just
Mhm.
start to be more aware of it,
Mhm.
aware of what they are developing you as, because when you do the first season of a show, you don't know how you're going to be edited. You don't know who you're going to come out as. So once you see that, you kind of know who they want you to be, and you can, you know, work within that character. Not that it's not who you are, but it's who you've been edited to be. Like people
Mhm.
used to meet me and be like, wow, you're so calm, you're so quiet. And it's like, yeah, because on the show, they're not going to show me just sitting on the fucking couch. Like, it's not entertaining. They're only going to show the most, you know, extreme entertaining moments. They're not going to show people just being normal. So I think they have to kind of be a character.
You told us what your least favorite challenge was, which was the interview with New York. But what was your favorite?
On Charm School or Flavor of Love, or both?
Charm School, or even both. Yeah, give me both.
Um, Flavor of Love. I really like the challenge that I won on Flavor of Love when we had the dinner challenge, and like I shook the champagne up and I sprayed it all over Flav. Like, yes, because like first of all, we had been sitting there for fucking hours, so the food was cold as fuck. So I knew Flav wasn't gonna want to eat the fucking food, even though I ordered the only good thing, which was chicken, which I knew he would probably eat the chicken. He didn't want to eat none of the other shit, but my food was okay. But I was like, this is dumb. Like, this is so boring to just sit here and feed him a fucking piece of chicken with a blindfold on, or fucking let him feel on my titties, like let him feel on my ass, you know what I mean? Kiss him on the neck. Like I had to do something different, and like instantly that's what popped into my head. I was like, this is something I would do on a real fucking date. Like this is how I would be if we were on a date. Like let's get it popping. Like, and we did, and he loved that. Like he picked me for the date because it was just something different. So I really like that. Um Charm School. I hated when we had to camp. That was awful. That was terrible. Never again would I want to do that. They made us see that the military obstacle course, awful. Almost fucking died. Thought I was gonna throw up a lung. Like, why would you think any of us could participate in a military grade obstacle course?
And they had Dara out there about to lose her life.
We were all about to lose our life. Like, we were not qualified to be doing that, like, at all. That's shit people in military training camps do. Like, what the fuck are you making us do? And we had just ran up that hill.
I wonder if that was the same set they probably used for a Celebrity Fit Club. And they were just like, oh, it's up. Let's just use it.
I think, you know what? You're actually right. We should look that. I should look at that because I think you're right. So that was not the funnest. I'm trying to think what was fun about that. Anything. I think all the challenges, they looked fun on TV on Charm School, but we was going through it on Charm School. Like that shit was difficult. We were going through emotional trauma. Like it was funny to watch on TV, but that shit was hard when we were doing it. Like even the fashion challenge was not fun. Like they ate my team up. They were like, how dare you put the fat girl on the runway? Like y'all making her look crazy. I didn't even think she looked that crazy. I still think she could. Like she looked nice.
Dara looked a mess.
Well, I have no fashion sense. Listen, no. Okay, because Beyonce put some fucking feathers on her eyelashes.
Beyonce? More like Luther Vandross.
Okay, well, maybe Dara did look a little more like Luther Vandross than Beyonce that day. But I still say that the feathers on the eyelashes was iconic.
Infamous.
I'll take it.
Did Charm School change your life? Did it help you?
Other than making me more
known.
Yeah, I would
Mhm.
say it made me more known. I was able to go on I Love Money after that. So it definitely gave me another step to go on another TV show.
How crazy was that reunion? I feel like a lot of stuff got cut out of that reunion, especially once Larissa and Monique kind of bumped heads.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember that reunion at all. At all. So for me, I feel like that reunion was so boring to me. Like, yeah, Larissa and Monique fought. Like, they always fight. That's nothing new. Her mom was there. I guess that was interesting. Her mom was fighting Monique. That was just like, God, my mom will never show up and fight Monique. What the fuck? Like, why is your mom here fighting with Monique? That's crazy. You're a grown ass woman. Your mom can stay at home. Like, no, that was crazy to me. Like, my mom would never be on TV fighting Monique. I don't understand why she was even there.
My mama may have pulled up, and my that would have been my mama, because my mama has pulled up to my reunions that I found. I'd be like, Mom, can you stay
Wow. Okay.
home? Stay home. My mom's a cop, so she don't be with the shits.
No, that's
Um,
good.
I appreciate my mom, and shout out to Mama Twix. I love her so
As
much.
you should. It's good to have a mom that will have your back, but my mom is not gonna fight nobody for me.